Hi guys, welcome to Justice KTV. My name is Justice Joseph Kofi Kabe, your IT teacher for today's lesson. Today's lesson we are going to look at revision mock 3. If today is your first time of watching this tutorial, I advise you subscribe to my YouTube channel, share and press the notification bell below the video, so anytime we upload a new lesson or a new video, you'll be notified. Yes, today we are going to look at only section B aspect of the ICT, no objectives for today. So I urge you, all of you, to pay attention and get your J.H.S and take note as I take you through the questions. So let's start. Question 1. A. Identify the devices below and state the function of each. So identify the devices below and state the function of each. So the first one is barcode reader or barcode scanner. We call barcode reader or barcode scanner. And this one is called plotter. This one is called random access memory or computer's main memory. Simple, just write random access memory. So the scanner or the barcode reader is an input device, whilst the plotter is also, the plotter 2 is an output device, while this one is a type of memory found inside the system unit. Now let's look at the functions of the devices identified above. The first one, which is the barcode reader, helps to check, read prices of an item. It also helps to read a series of parallel vertical lines, that's barcode, used to identify a product of or an item. So the barcode reader, mostly when you go to the shop, right, or where a supermarket where they are selling items or products, they have this scanner that they hold to scan the product, the barcode of the product. For example, when you go to a place like ShopRite, Melcom, Junction Mall, and all those places, they have this kind of scanner that they use to scan the product. It's called the barcode reader. So it is used, or it helps to check or read price of an item. It also helps to read a series of parallel vertical lines that the barcodes used to identify a product or an item. Then the next one, which is the plotter, this one, it enables user to produce high quality drawings, graphics such as maps, labels, diagrams. Plotter enables user to produce high quality drawings or graphics such as maps, labels, or diagrams. Now, when we talk of plotter, you see, when you are moving or you see those big billboards that you see, those big printing, like inviting, like especially when these politicians, they are coming to, we are having election, they print their pictures and putting information, the very big. Yes, very, very big. They don't use printer because of the size and the quality that they have. So they use a device we call plotter to print such billboards or such diagrams. Now let's look at the random access memory, which is the C. Random access memory, which is also called the computer's main memory, helps to store information or data temporarily to be used by the central processing unit. It also helps to hold running programs. I believe you understand. Let's move to the next question. B. State the steps to preview a document before printing. Now, I want you to understand that when we say print preview means what? Printing or what? Print preview is the art of what? Seeing the document or previewing the document, how it will look like when it is printed. So when you have a document on the screen, you can preview the document and see how it will look when you print it out. So we have something called what you see is what you get. What you see is what you get. So what you see on the screen is what you get when it's printed. So what I mean by print preview, it means that how the document will look like when it is printed or before it is printed. Now let's look at the steps of how to print preview a document. The first step, click on the Office button. Then 2, click on Print. Then 3, click on Print Preview. Good. Then another one, or click on File, click on Print Preview. It depends the types of windows you are using. And pay attention, if you've been asked in the exams before that you should answer this type of questions, you can go for the first one, depending the space allocated for you to put the answer over there. So you can go for the first one, click on the Office button, click on Print, click on Print Preview. The two are correct, but it depends the type of windows you are using. And you are asking the exam, outline 3 steps of how to print preview a document. You surely go for what? This one. Outline 3 steps of how to print preview a document. You surely go for. You will not go for this. So you have to make sure, look at the content in which the question is being set, so that you provide an appropriate answer for the exact question. Good. Question 1C. State any 2 conditions a work is eligible to be copyrighted. State any 2 conditions a work is eligible to be copyrighted. 1, it must be original. It must be original. 2, it must be created by a citizen or a person who is a resident in the country. So no foreigner. You don't need any foreigner to come and create the product. Then 3, it must not be affected by its artistic quality or purpose. So these are the conditions at which a work is eligible to be copyrighted. Then D, mention 4 technologies used to access the internet. This very question, there was a similar question. There was a repetition of, I think it has come in all the previous mock that I've taken. The first mock, this question was there. The second mock too. So the third one too, I think is here. So that the questions are set in a different way. So ICT questions, as I always say, are very tricky. So you have to make sure you pay attention and make sure you understand the question before you answer. I always advise my students that think before you write, especially when you are answering ICT questions. Think before you write, because you think what you are writing is correct, but later you finish writing and realize that all that you've written is wrong. And remember, ICT question, there is no paper, you will not be given any additional paper to answer. So I always advise that before you write, think. Yes, good. So let's look at some of the technology, the tools used to access the internet. So we have the computer, we have modem, we have satellite, we have iPad, wireless, we have smartphones or tablets or mobile phone, we have telephone line, we have router, and we have the personal digital assistants. Yes. Okay, so let's look at E. List 4 characters on the keyboard that cannot be used to name a file or a folder. List 4 characters on the keyboard that cannot be used to name a file or a folder. Let's look at the answers. We have the less than, greater than, the forward slash, the backslash, colon, asterisk, question mark, and double quotes. So these are some of the characters that cannot be used in creation of folders. So take note anytime you are answering questions. Good. F, define the term extranet. It is a private network of an organization which is partially accessible to authorized outsiders. It's a private network of an organization which is partially accessible to authorized outsiders. So it means that the extranet is not for everyone. So those who are outsiders, who knows about the network, are those who are uses the network. So it is partially accessible to authorized outsiders. authorized. It means that it is not all. Good. Now let's look at question 2. State any two functions of operating system. State any two functions of operating system. Remember, operating system is also the system software. Okay. Now, it facilitates networking. 2, it provides user interface. 3, it controls basic input and output devices. 4, it helps to run application software. Then 5, it helps hardware and software resources. It manages hardware and software resources. So these are some of the functions of operating system. Good. Outline the steps to save a file in MS Word, Microsoft Word. Outline the steps to save a file in MS Word. So the first one, click on File or Office button. Click on Save to open the Save dialog box. Type the name of the file. Select the location of the file. Click on Save. So these are the steps of how to save document in MS Word. Now let me draw attention to this. Now let's look at the difference between save and save as. Save and save as. Now, in case you are asked in the exam to explain or to give the difference between save and save as. First of all, save is used to save an existing document. Save. The save command is used to save an existing document, which means that if you've created a document with a name already, that document must be saved after you finish editing. You will not use the save as dialog box. So save command is used to save an existing document, while save as is used to save a new document under a new name. Take note. Save as is used to save a new document under a new name. So when you are going to create a document you are going to save a document for the first time, use save as command. If you are going to save a document for the first time, use save as command. But if you've already saved the document with a name, and after making editing and changes for the document, you just click on save. Normally we have the shortcut method for save, which is Control plus S. I believe you understand. So in case you are writing your mock and you meet any question, what is the difference between save command and save as command? So save as command, it is a command used to save a document. It's a command used to save a new document under a new name, while save is used to save an existing document. Full stop. I believe you understand. Good. Now let's look at some examples of operating system. Mention 4 examples of operating system. We have Microsoft Disk operating system. We have Windows XP. We have Windows Vista. We have the Ubuntu Unix. We have the Linux. We have many of them like Windows 2000. We have Apple Mac OS. We have Windows 98 and so on and so forth. So they are all examples of operating system. Question 3. State 4 uses of computer keyboard. State 4 uses of computer keyboard. Please pay attention to this. When you are asked this type of question, I am begging you, as a candidate in Form 3, don't write it is used for typing. No, it's a low-key answer. Don't write it is used for typing. I believe you understand. Good. So let's look at some of the uses. Take note of the uses that I've given you here. It is used for entering letter. It is used for entering letter or text. 2, it helps to enter numeric data. 3, it is used for typing special symbols, example like the at sign, the ampersand sign, and so on and so forth. 3, it helps to control the cursor on the computer screen. It is used to issue commands. It is used to play computer games as usual. Next question. List 4 examples of typing software. List 4 examples of typing software. List 4 examples of typing software. 1. Mavis Beacon typing software. 2. Typing Master. 3. Typing Tutor. 4. Kiran typing software. 5. 21st century typing software. Then 6. Rapid typing software. So these are examples of typing software. In Ghana, we are familiar with the Mavis Beacon and the Kiran typing some, but these are some of them. Take note in case you meet them in your exams. C. Write the following acronyms in full. Then I, MICR, which stands for Magnetic Ink Character Recognition. Magnetic Ink Character Recognition. II, VGA, which stands for Video Graphic Array. Video Graphic Array. I. CAD, which is CAD, Computer Aided Design. Computer Aided Design. They have the W3C, World Wide Web Consortium. World Wide Web Consortium. So that is the full meaning of the acronyms you see. So take note. D. Differentiate between impact and non-impact printers. Impact printers is a type of printer that forms characters and graphics on a piece of paper, medium, by striking a mechanism against an ink ribbon that contacts the paper or medium physically, whilst non-impact printer form characters and graphics on a piece of paper or medium by spraying ink or by using heat and pressure. Let me read again. Impact printer is a type of printer that forms characters and graphics on a piece of paper which is medium by striking a mechanism against an ink ribbon that contacts the paper or medium physically, whilst non-impact printer form characters and graphics on a piece of paper or medium by spraying ink or by using heat and pressure. So that's the difference between impact printers and non-impact printers. In our next lesson, we'll be looking at examples of or types of impact printers and examples of impact printers and examples of non-impact printers. Yes, when we start learning about ICT tools, I will introduce that so that you get more, have more examples to prepare with when you're writing the exams. Let's move to the next question. Question 4. State the function of the following types of application software. State the function of the following types of application software. I. Word processing. It helps to create, edit, format, and save text-based documents. It helps to create, edit, format, and save text-based documents. So that's the function of the word processing document. So that's what we use for typing, doing all those data. So that's what I mean. Create. Don't write it. It's just for typing. Pay attention when it asks you for what is the function of word processing document. It is not used for typing. It is the typing software that are used for typing, like the Mavis Beacon and all that. But the word processing is used to, it helps to create, edit, format, and save text-based documents. I believe you understand. Good. It helps to perform mathematical calculation, that is spreadsheet, It helps to perform mathematical calculation. That is for spreadsheet. So in spreadsheet, you can do all kinds of mathematical calculation. That is what the banks, those are the banks used. They use spreadsheet to calculate their trading and profit and loss, and all that, profit and loss and end of year budget and everything, expenses. They use what the spreadsheet application to do all that because it is a calculation based software. Yes. Then we have database. It helps to collect, organize, store, and retrieve large amounts of data. It helps to collect, organize, store, and retrieve large amounts of data. Someone asks database. When you go to organization like most of the organization that we have, they use the database to keep organizational data or employees data. Example like using your name, your position, all those things, your qualification. They use the database to keep all those information. So if someone needs anything about you, you just go to the database of the organization and get all the information needed about you. Good. Let's move to question 4b. List 4 input and output devices. List 4 inputs and output devices. This very question. List 4 input output devices. So that simply they are asking you devices that serve as inputs and output devices. So they are asking to write 4 devices that serves as input and at the same time output devices. So take note. So we have these devices, some of them here that serves as input and at the same time what output devices. Please take note. Don't write storage pen drive or flash drive as device that serves as what input and output device. When you go on net, you search things, you see it could be correct, but the main purpose of the pen drive is to do storage. It's for storage, so let it be as such. So we have some device that serve as input and output device. We have the modem. And modem stands for modulator demodulator. The full meaning is an abbreviation, modulator demodulator. Then we have the next one, which also serve as input and output, which is the headset. We have the fax machine. We have the touch screen. The touch screen can be our mobile phone, tablet. Things how we input data, then we can view from the screen. Yes, so it serves as input and output. Then we have the network interface card. They have the multiplexer. So they all serve as both inputs and output devices. Good. Now let's move to C. Explain the term backup in computing environment. Explain the term backup in computing environment. It is the art of making a duplicate of a file or information on a storage medium such as floppy disk, external hard drive, memory card, compact disk, digital visitor disk, pen drive, etc. to used when the original one is lost. So simply, these are some of the examples that are used for data backup. So you can simply put your answer in case in the question you were asked to give maybe examples of devices that are used for data backup. You can state them as floppy disk, external hard disk, memory card, compact disk, digital visitor disk, pen drive, and so on and so forth. But let me put the definition in this way. It is the art of making a duplicate of a file or information on a storage medium to be used when the original one is lost. So look at it. It is the art of making a duplicate of a file or information on a storage medium to be used when the original one is lost. So you can just put your definition that way. Then in case the question asks for examples, it gives these examples as you see here. Good. DI. What is a web browser? A web browser, it is a software which enables user to access the internet and view electronic documents, which is the web pages. So it's a software which enables users to access the internet and view electronic documents or web pages. So you take note of that, especially when you are browsing, because you always browse. you always browse on the computer. So browsing on the software that helps you to browse is what? The web browser. So we have types of or examples of web browsers, as we're going to look in the next question. So let's look at some of the examples or types. Remember, it could be types of web browsers or examples of web browsers. Don't be confused. That's how it is correct. When you write, it's the same thing. Types of web browsers or examples of web browsers is the same thing. So look smart and be smart. So let's look at two examples of a web browser. We have the Opera, we have the Internet Explorer, we have the Google Chrome, we have Safari, we have the Mozilla Firefox, we have the Netscape Navigator, we have UC Browser, and so on. We have so many of them. So be familiar with the ones that we've been using. So these are the ones that we are used to: Opera, Internet Explorer, Google Chrome, Safari, Mozilla Firefox, and Netscape Navigator. Good. Let's move to the next question. Question 5. Mention 4 examples of storage devices. Mention 4 examples of storage devices. We have the hard disk drive. We have the CD-ROM drive, which is the compact disc read-only memory. We have the DVD, which stands for digital visitor disc read-only memory drive. We have the floppy disk drive. We have the zip disk drive. We have the tape drive. We have the flash drive or pen drive. So pen drive is same as what? Flash drive. So you take note. Let's look at some of the disadvantages of the internet. Disadvantages of internet. When you use the internet, what are some of the things that are not good? Some of the disadvantages about the internet, about the use of the internet. The first one is connecting your computer to unsafe website on the internet can be infected with virus. Yes. The main sources of computer virus is internet. The main sources of computer virus is internet. So when you go to unsafe websites, you are clicking links, you are browsing, you are clicking unsafe links, you end up by picking up virus for your computers. Good. 2, there are a lot of undesirable websites on the internet. Yes. So pornography materials. The internet, when you go to the internet, there is some undesirable websites on the internet which shows pornographic videos and pictures. So that's another disadvantage of the use of the internet. It is very expensive in terms of connectivity and subscription. Yes. Before you can get internet connection, you have to buy subscriptions for the connectivity, and it's very expensive. Yes. So it's very expensive in the terms of connectivity and what? Subscription. So buying of data for browsing is very, very expensive. It is used for fraudulent activity, which is 419. Yes, people use the internet to what? Fraud people, lie to them, and what? Get something from them by lying, pretending that they are someone, that they are pretending that they are this person, meanwhile they are not. So in our next lesson, we are going to look at something called plagiarism, spoofing, and all that. Spamming, yes, unsolicited email sent to you in a form of advertising product. They say, oh, I want to buy. They are all forms of what? Fraudulent activities on the net. So you have to take note. So these are some of the disadvantages of the internet. So you take note when you're writing, you write intact. Then C, explain the terms in email environment. Explain the terms in email environment. We have sign up, we have sign in. So sign up is the art of creating a new email account for a user to own a mailbox in a mail server. So that is for signing up. And signing, it's the art of opening an existing email account. So this one is very simple. The signing up is when you want to create an email account for the first time or want to own an email account. But for the signing in, you have the email account. The only thing you do is to log into your existing email account. So that's what we mean as signing in. So please take note. There is a difference between what is sign up and what is sign in. There's a difference between signing in, and signing up. It's not that there's a difference, but your definition given to those answers will be wrong. It will be different. For example, this one is signing up. Signing, which is the act. Are you with me? Signing up is the act of creating a new email account, a user to own a mailbox in a mail server. But let's take note. Sign in. Sign in, it is when someone creates a new email account, or a person creates a new email account for a user to own a mailbox in a mail server. So it will not be the act. So the same thing applies to the signing in. The next question. List the steps to delete a file on the desktop, specifically on the desktop. So students always find themselves until when they are answering such question, you have to look at it's on the desktop, not in the folder. So the file or document that you are going to delete is on the desktop, not any other place. So you have to make sure your answer, your steps that you are going to give, it should be based on the desktop. I've witnessed answers students give where they end up that you open the folder, you open this, you right click, you delete. No. So let's look at the steps. 1. Right click on the target file. Then 2. Click on delete. So when you right click, there will be a pop-up menu. Then you select delete. That's all. Then the next one, or right click on the target file, click on delete. Then third one, click on yes from the confirmation dialog box that appears. Now, it depends the type of Windows you are using, because some Windows, when you right click on the target file, you click on delete, the file will be deleted. But this one, another window, when you right click on the target file, you click on delete, they will ask you, are you sure you want to delete the file or document? If you are sure, you just click on yes. As you see the yes here to confirm your action from the dialog box that will appear. Good. Then we have another one. Select the target file. You could be selecting means that you can use the mouse to select it. Then press the delete key on the keyboard. Click yes from the confirmation dialog box that appears. So these are the steps that we have. But I always advise my student that go for this, the second one. Yes. Don't go for the one with the keyboard. You can go for this, but don't go for the one. But I always advise that depending on the space allocated for you to answer, you can't just go and write a simple answer over there expecting to get the full mark. So you have to make sure you put in all the ingredients, all the words you're supposed to put up to get a complete test. So I advise you to go for right click on the target file, click on delete, click on yes from the confirmation dialog box that appears, just to confirm your deletion. Automatically it will move to the recycle bin. Yes. If you have any question to ask, you can leave your question under the comment section. Just send me a question. You can go on Facebook, send me question. My Facebook page is J.H.S TV. Just send any question at all. If you have any question that you want me to help you as you're at home, you can just go on Facebook. Just send me your message or your question, any question at all you want to ask, so that I will attend to you. Yes, if this question has been helpful to you or you've been following my lesson, I advise you subscribe to my YouTube channel and press the like button, and also press the notification bell so that anytime I upload a new lesson, you'll be notified. If today you've enjoyed the lesson, I advise you that you share to your colleagues that are in Form 3 that are also preparing for exams, and they will also get hold of the questions so that they can also prepare for the BC. In that case, I advise you to take your lessons very seriously. I believe that you are learning at home. ICT for everyone, including you. Bye-bye.